Hello, citizens of YouTube. This is the Geeky Nerd here, and today we're going to be talking about how many guns you should have. Don't tell the missus if she's watching right now, tell her to look away. Before I begin, though, I'd like to send a big thank you out to everyone who has liked, commented, and or subscribed on the previous videos. I always appreciate it and always enjoy talking to you guys. But if you're new here to the channel, welcome. If you enjoy this video, enjoy this type of content we have here, please consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. And with the PR out the way, we're going to get into it. So how many guns you should have? Never enough. I'm sure that's going to be the prevailing comment down below. But my essential take on it is you should have enough guns for any situation you would conceivably find yourself in. Because first and foremost, guns are tools, at least in my opinion. And like that, you can put a screw in the wall with a hammer, but a screwdriver will do a much better job, or a nail will be used better. So you guys know what I'm saying. They are tools to be used for very specific jobs. For example, like a 1911. While it could fit every single role that you could conceivably put it in, you try to go bear hunting with this, you're going to have a bad time, okay? And likewise, the Glock. A lot of people say, hey, Glock's great. But again, it's not going to fill that specific role, like if you're trying to do like a long-range shooting. Also, environment dependent. Yes, this is a stainless steel 1911. However, if you're going to have this in a wet, salty, corrosive environment, Glock is probably going to be a bit better. Yes, I know everyone who loves 1911s are going to be rioting right now in the comments, but that's the hard truth of it. So that's essentially what I would say as far as how many guns you should have. Now, as far as if you're looking for a hard count number, I would say everyone who is willing and able and who is okay to use a gun should have at least a pistol and at least a rifle. Now, I know people will say a pistol, rifle, and a shotgun. I shy away from the shotgun for one particular reason, is that new and unexperienced shooters who aren't really in the gun world, aren't really using guns, the recoil impulse is quite harsh on it. And a lot of people say, oh, shotgun's gold standard. You know, you can use buckshot for home defense. You can use slugs for big game, birdshot for, feeding yourself. While all those things are true, it is a much harsher system to use, and it can shy a lot of people away, because some people will get a shotgun and, they might fire it once and they're immediately turned off from it and they kind of get scared by it. And that's definitely not a good way to introduce a new shooter to the market. Now, if you do like shotguns and you're an experienced shooter, hey, more power to you than pistol, rifle, and a shotgun. But for me, I would say at least a pistol and a rifle. The rifle, either bolt action or semi-automatic. Obviously, if you're going to be using for home defense, semi-automatic is always going to win. But for reliability's sake, bolt action. So that's one thing you could consider. Now, shotguns also have reliability, obviously, especially pump actions or a Benelli M4, but not going down that deep rabbit hole. I already said my piece on shotguns. I know everyone's already hating me right now. But like I said, you really can't have enough guns for any kind of situation. Now, it also depends on financial circumstance. You should never put yourself in any kind of financial burden for guns. However, in like my previous video to this titled "Guns for Investment 401g," if you do buy a gun, you can always get your money back for it in some way, shape, or form. So you're never really out. And there's different kind of classes again with this video. I know we're kind of getting in the muddy waters here, but with like investment guns or collector pieces, there really is the sky's the limit. The amount of space that you can store in your safe, or how many safes you can have, aka, or how much weight your floors can support, is your limitation there, and of course financial resources. But as far as for like new and upcoming people, I personally recommend a pistol. If you're going to get a first-time gun and you're saying, okay, hey, how many should I get, or what should I start out with first? I would say pistol. A lot of people are going to contradict that and say a rifle, because a rifle is easier to aim, easier to shoot. However, on people that have taken shooting for new time and just generally newcomers, I've always noticed the rifle, it gives a lot of complications, especially scopes in any way, shape, or form with irons, because being able to get that head position, it just doesn't feel natural for a lot of people. And, people say, hey, I can't see the sights, even on a giant EOTech. They're like, hey, I can't see the sight, and they have to position their head right, and it just becomes a giant cluster, to where a pistol is more of like a, okay, your arms are, and all these guns have been safety checked, but for any guys that are wondering, for a pistol, when you are pressing out and actually, aiming, it's more of like okay, this is right in front of me, where my fingers are pointing essentially is the general region that is going to hit. Now, with a rifle, though, when you have that those 2 points of contact, yes, that does make it more stable, but just seeing new shooters, it always seems like they have a issue kind of getting used to a rifle, and rifles obviously are bigger, and especially with the smaller of the end of people out there, it can be a little bit too much. Even with an AR, just having that extended arm out there is a little bit too much weight. So I know I kind of went off a little bit of a tangent there about talking about new shooters and first-time gun purchase. But as far as for people saying, hey, how many guns should I have? Usually they're going to be the new shooters, the new and upcomers into the market. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much my my thought out there. Let me know what you guys think. Again, I think you should have at least a pistol and at least a rifle. For pretty much every circumstance you could you could find yourself in. And if those have interchangeable, the more the merrier. Of course, pick a common caliber. But if money is no object and space is no problem, get as many as you can, as fast as you can. But for the love of God, do not be a hoarder. If you buy those guns, use them, appreciate them, show them off, do something or other. But don't be one of those people just to buy guns, buy them up in hordes, and then sell them when it's high. While there's nothing wrong with that, and capitalism is great, it sucks for the community. It's the reason why I'm having such a hard time finding a SIG 5.56. That's my little pet peeve I'll put out there in the world. If you guys happen to know somebody who has SIG 5.56, put it down in the comments. But yeah, I'll wrap up the video here, guys. Appreciate it. If you enjoyed, please consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. And I'll catch you guys next time. See you guys.